Peace, everyone. How you doing? The calendar has flipped. It is 2025. And so therefore, based off of Lucifer working and changing his calendar and everything, I feel obligated to change my life circumstances and things of that nature. So I've chosen a topic to start this year off with. It's a very strong topic. A lot of people are getting into it because I'm getting into the topic. And I mean, I got federal agents and different people from the government on my tail. I'm not as famous as Tariq Nasheed, but I've been, swatted and everything else that Tariq Nasheed has been. It's just the world don't want my conversation to come out because they don't want the Africa Bambaataa, what happened to that boy situation with their YouTube hero, Hassan Camel, to come out. So people like Layla Wills, who I should really have issues or beef with, she won't speak on me because she want me dormant and quiet and stuff. But anything that I do, the government is on it. They own it. They gotta be on it because I have destroyed the black community and all the people that they're trying to replace me with. Because it's a form of replacement theology that we're dealing with. So the name of the organization and things that I deal with, which is a church organization, is Foundational Israelite, which I don't like the term black, but I use Black American in it. Because Tariq Nasheed has threw a monkey wrench in the population control of African people, black people. He has fucked up the black carcass. And though he's just a YouTuber, that's all it takes. It's one somebody to come along and really kick shit off. So, like I said, I'm an Israelite. That's my foundation in anything that I do. And so I have a real strong issue with the world, with the foundational people of this land. Now, it's 2, 3, 4, 5 different ways you can deal with the foundational people of this land. Those that was here before Columbus and those that was shipped here at some point in time when you deal with the passage and all of that stuff, slave trade and stuff. Everybody in America was brought over here on ships. That make them the foundation of America pre-Columbus. Because even in the Bible, it said they had to go teach the world, go teach all nations. Was it a nation of people over here? Back in them days, they deal with terms like tribes and all of this stuff and everything. And we all know that it was people here before Columbus. Columbus came to America to kill them people and do what he did to them. Get them messed up blankets and all this stuff. And what y'all be worshiping Thanksgiving? Y'all do Thanksgiving. And like I said, I was talking to the Queen today because this is the first of the year and we got to get our shit straight about how we're going to handle it. And I brought this subject up that this is what I'm talking about. Foundational Israelite Black Americans. No Hebrew Israelite, no Moors, no this, that. See, number one, you got to choose a nation. You got to have a nationality. Anybody that don't know that shit by now and then heard these Moors talk that shit for years, you's an ignorant ass nigga. Hebrew or whatever fucking by words you want to go by. If you ain't got no nation behind you, you's a piece of shit out here in this world. And the foundational Black American because of the slave trade and all the other shit and the hitting the motherfucker across the head and shit, the Masonic shit and everything. That nigga don't know who the fuck he is. So he don't know what nationality or whatever he should be trying to fuck with and stuff. But me, I've been awoke since 96. I know who the fuck I am, and I know everything that I need to know. And I didn't go to no motherfucking white man school and been over and let a nigga fuck me to tell me who the fuck I am. To a degree, I feel them Hebrew Israelites tried to fuck me, but I didn't let them fuck me. Now there's some niggas out here that let Israelites fuck them, but I don't do that shit. I'm a man. I've always been a man. Like I told y'all, I came to Park in Arkansas when I was 10 fucking years old. And I went out to a football game at night. And I didn't take my ass home till the next day. And it was welcome to the nightlife for me. Juke joints and every other motherfucking thing you could get in down here in Arkansas. I was in that shit. Knee deep in that shit. I've always been a man from my perspective. I've been got off the porch. Now, I'm going to show you same thing I've been showing on Sinetters in every motherfucking thing, because the Moors talk about it, people talk about it, but they don't talk about it enough. They don't talk about it enough. So we're going to go SF-181. Let me tell you what the United States of America has set up for an ignorant motherfucker that don't know no better. But a person that knows better can show you better. You ain't got to believe me. I ain't went to school. I can barely fucking read. I got a reading deficiency. But I know what that say. Ethnic and racial identification. SF-181 PDF. You can choose what fucking nationality you are. No need to run around this motherfucker saying I'm black or any motherfucking thing you don't want to be. There go the paperwork right there. What's up, bro? I can't even think how you said today. I can't even. But yes, this the shit right here. You can choose your ethnicity and racial identification. And this is what America has put out here for you to choose. You can be American Indian, Alaskan Nation, Asian, Black, or African American, a person having no origins in any Black racial group of Africa. So how the fuck you a Pan-Africa and you ain't got no motherfucking group or origin in African that you can claim? You got to claim a national identity. Niggas ain't speaking on that shit. Cause Tariq Nasheed is a motherfucking Muslim. I don't have nothing against Muslims. They brothers just like any other brothers. But Barack Obama is also a Muslim. Farrakhan, a Muslim. And that's what it is. People go with them things more than Israelite. You got Israelites, you got Muslims, and you got Judaism. Them religions. I'm a religious person. I didn't choose Judaism. I didn't choose Islam. And I deal with Christianity because that's what I chose to deal with. Because most foundational blacks are Israelites. And Israelites got a God and a religion and everything else too. I know it's like a byword to call yourself Christian, but when you deal with the Bible, you got Peter telling you don't be ashamed to be a Christian. If they want to call you Christian, laugh at their ass and keep doing what you do. You just serve God. Fuck what they talking about. So yeah, I use that term. Israel might not even be the proper term. And you use terms though to relate to people that know what the terminology means. That's all terms do. If you deaf, but you can write a word down, you can speak to another person. A word ain't nothing but a communication tool. So let's look at it. If I was over here dealing with this SF 181 form, I would be a American Indian or Alaskan Nation. A person having orgies in any of the original people of North and South America, including Central America, which is the United States of America, who maintain tribal affiliations or community attachments. See, it's very Pacific because you need to be Pacific when you talking like this shit. That's why niggas can't talk like this. You go to court and you say you black, they're gonna say that motherfucker ain't got no nation behind them. He ain't got no civil rights and all that. That's why blacks been fighting for civil rights for years. I came up with black intelligentsia. That bitch ass MVP Chris Harris tried to steal my shit and run with my shit. That's why I had to fuck him up with God don't hate Africans. Cause he like most ignorant ass people like to say God hate Africans. No, God don't hate melanated people. If you intelligent, the beginning of the Bible start with all melanated people. Moses looked just like the Egyptians. It's all good. But can't no motherfucker jump on. You can jump on foundational black American people because you can fuck with black people. You can't fuck with a nigga that got a nation behind them. I'm an Israelite and I have a nation, even if it ain't on earth yet. I have a nation to represent, and I have a book that you motherfuckers can't fuck with. Fuck your scholars, whoever they are. So now let me get to my other presentation right quick. Because it's very fundamental stuff. Tariq Nasheed ain't gonna come talking shit to me. And now another motherfucker from the conscious community better not talk shit about this. So FIBA, it ain't no FDA and all that foundational. You gotta have the B for black, nigga. The hidden history of foundational Israelites. Black Americans. Right? First in the first 25. So now let's get to some of the fundamental things that I done laid down, right? We're gonna let the computer read.
FIBA, The Hidden History of Foundational Israelite Black Americans Revealed. This eye-opening video dives deep into the origins, legacy, and impact of foundational Israelite Black Americans, FIBA. Explore the forgotten truths and rich cultural history that define this influential group. Discover how their identity shapes modern society and challenges conventional narratives. From ancient roots to contemporary movements, this video uncovers groundbreaking insights that redefine identity and culture. Whether you're exploring your heritage or seeking historical clarity, this is a must-watch for anyone curious about FIBA and its role in reshaping cultural landscapes. Don't miss this journey into history and empowerment. Subscribe for more content about heritage, faith, and cultural revolution.
So you see what all this deals with? It's very impactful. When Russia telling blacks in America, y'all are the true Israelites, Jesus was black, the Roman Catholic Church and Leonardo or whoever that paint the picture been lying to y'all and whitewashing and shit because they've been replacing the true Israelites since 70 AD. To all the preterists out there that's listening to stuff, in 70 AD when Israel was sacked by Titus, they threw the Israels out of that land. And then the Edomites, who Herod and all them was, said, the Israelites gone. Fuck it, we gonna tell them we the Israelites and we gonna take over their everything. They threw Israel out. That's how we ended up over here in America today. Yeah, we come from the west of Africa and all of that other shit that people be talking about and shit. Everything people saying is true. They just don't know how to formulate it and give it to the people, and they not gonna stay on it consistently like I've been doing since 96. That's all I've been talking about, consistently talking about, telling the world that we Israel, telling everything I'm saying. This ain't nothing I'm saying is new. People have agreed, but they never really heard. They really never heard me say what I say. And some shit that I say is very disrespectful to people that don't believe it. What the fuck you say, Carl? My brother told me the other day that we ain't brothers. And it took me a while. What the fuck you say, man? We ain't brothers. It kind of hurt me. I'm a very sensitive ass nigga. But what he said to me a month back has brought me to the realization today that, hey, me and all black people ain't brothers or sisters. We got the same skin tone. They might be Egyptian, I might be Israel. But I've never been a racial person. If I ain't saying something, then just log off while y'all sitting up here trying to be critical of me. When you ain't doing the shit that I'm doing, if it's nothing or not. Peace.
Call from Dollar Skills. To accept, press 1.
What up, Dollar?
Yo.
What up?
Yeah, I see you live, bro. I wanna have a little bit of dialogue on the topic.
Okay, yeah, because I got a bunch of very critical people talking that shit. But that SF 181 quiets all of that. They ain't pulling it out and showing the black people that they can have ethnic and racial identity. But go ahead, bro.
Well, you're right to a degree, and I'll just reference, and I always reference this from when we kind of had these discussions in the past, the Django, because the blacks is other people's property. People who identify as that, you know that. But I think the way to kind of like deal with it is you dealt with it in the intro, because I was listening. I had you playing in the background, but the simplicity of is modern academia tends to try to enforce certain narratives on all the cultures and society of the world. So you dealt with it from the so-called melanated people that came here post-Columbus, and then the argument that prior to Columbus, there were already melanated people here. So it's kind of like, in theory, you got people who want to try to enforce the academia, but like leave common sense. Like when you look at just land mass and you look at what was here pre-Columbus in regards to the river system, the irrigation system, I would make the argument that like the Mississippi River was cultivated and irrigated by people, like a man-made system. example, like if that sounds crazy, oh, that's crazy. Well, we know that in modern times, the U.S. helped South America build the Panama Canal. That's been a hot topic in the mainstream. 38,000 people allegedly died digging that trench in Panama to set up one of the most incredible trade roads into the U.S. that the world has ever seen. So what I'm saying is pre-Columbus, there was already land masses here. There was already people here. And I'm not talking about what they typecast as the Indians. I'm talking about melanated people, yes, from Africa. We already know that the cradle of civilization and mankind is in the motherland in Africa. But I'm talking about pre-Columbus, that there were melanated people here. And then when you put it into the biblical account, they try to isolate everything over into that region, like God's people didn't spread out, or even previous empires didn't control the whole world, which includes this landmass. It's like everybody's having a brain fart on Christopher Columbus discovering America, but really he thought he landed on India. This is all conjecture and academia trying to control the ancestors and us knowing who we are. That's all it is. But common sense would show that there were people here already. And there's no way that you could tell me that all the so-called black people was chained up on slave ships and brought here by Europeans. That doesn't even make logical sense. There's no common sense to that. None of that lines up. So the whole foundational Black America topic is arguing that these people was planted in this soil. And now this is biblical again. You get in the Bible, you got to deal with the generations in the land. They're trying to make everybody equal when they're really not. Because if I got more generations in the land, my grandmother's grandmother, based on the biblical account, 10 generations in, then you got to get on the back of the bus if you come in this country. Even if you're an anchor baby, is what they call that. When your mother and father come from another country and they have you in the U.S., you're now on the soil, so you have a right to the land, but you don't get to usurp the people that was here longer based on the generations, and that's what they ran. They ran replacing theology. So they try to put the actual people with more generations, the people like me or you, who when you trace your lineage, you're going to find it land somewhere in the south of the United States of America, or what we call North America. It's not going to trace you back to no Africa in the sense that you came here on a slave ship. Everybody did not come here on no slave ship. That's the movie that academia is trying to force. So that's what I wanted to add. Academia is basically Europeans telling you about your lineage and your history when I'll just tell you personally, like my family traces to what they call the Cherokee Indians. These are all made up terms that they put on the people when they came here.
I heard people talk about Malcolm X. Malcolm X was going through a transition period when he met Elijah Muhammad. In the movie, though Spike might put the shit in there for entertainment or whatever, he said, nigga, don't be selling me no motherfucking lie and bullshit. Don't be, what's the term? Don't be trying to hustle me, nigga. I don't deal with no hustle. I'm a weak ass person and I want to believe in something, and if you trying to hustle me, you're fucking me, and I don't want to get fucked. So he got fucked because it was a hustle. And then when he was finna leave, he started African American this and that. He termed it just like foundational Black America, but they wasn't using them terms back there. They hadn't did no research, but it was just like Garvey. Garvey shit was
Yeah, well, real quick, what he was talking about, he was basically dealing with tribalism too, Malcolm X, because he was saying that the so-called blacks is part of the tribe of Shabazz.
Right.
So it's tribalism to it. All I'm saying to the whole topic is that they're trying to enforce that all so-called black people came here on slave ships and then don't have no national heritage. And I get what you're saying. When you look at it from the Bible foundation, the lost sheep of the house of Israel is a scattered nation of people, scattered all over, to and fro. So everybody's not the same.
Malcolm spoke on that too. What did he say? He the first man I ever heard say we the lost sheep of Israel. Because he was out there saying that stuff.
Yeah, because they was replacing, they ran the replacement theology. They were showing everybody this back in the late 70s with Good Times when they had the Black Jesus, White Jesus episode. I mean, this is not really rocket science. We know that the original people, most of them were melanated, but they were mixed. So you have people of all different hues and all of that. The simplicity of it is the right to claim your heritage, the right to say you're an actual Israelite. Because the Moors claim that they're basically down with the Emperor of Morocco. So whether you Islam and the Abrahamic faith and you claiming Morocco or whatever nation in Africa you claiming, Israel, we already discussed, is on the tectonic plate. So that's Northeast Africa. It's a real nation that exists, and you could claim Israelite. They don't want you to know that, though. They want to keep you black. And then now they want to argue the FBA stuff, but they're not putting that in the proper perspective, because if you don't break down that black is already dead at law, civil liter mortus, and then you don't have no national origins that can claim or any national backing in order to put behind what you're saying, you have no rights. You're 3/5 of a man. So anything involving human rights, they always defer you to the civil rights when you're black. They're not dealing with human rights, which I won't go too deep in that, because human rights is not even what it is. But in the very least, the human rights is being violated because the black is 3/5 of a man. He's not even a whole person based on the legal system. So with the SF-181, that's just showing that that's based on classism. Classism is a caste system based on nomenclature that Germany set up, that whole caste system. That really goes back to ancient Egypt, but for modern purposes, that's the Germans or the modern Assyrians that put that whole system in play, or a two-tiered system of justice based on putting people in different classes or castes. So when you're looking at the SF-181, that's just different castes, but the black, their origins is scattered, even on the form, because the North African claims specific nations in Africa, and that makes them white. That's why when you look on the form, it shows that if you come from certain origins in North Africa, you can be white. So if you come from Europe, the Middle East, or North Africa, you're white, because you have a nation behind you. The black, yeah, they tie the black as the African American to Africa, but scattered amongst racial groups. So even from the idea of the biblical account of the scattered children of Israel, the lost sheep, that lines that up that most of the so-called blacks would be Israelites. And if you're dealing with it from academia, nobody still broke that 1611 challenge. Because 1611 is when they made the print and press and laid out all these paradigms that the modern world still, they trying to unravel it, but they can't. They're never getting out of that.
Yeah, I see it. It garnered a lot of attention. I guess people seen me with the thing and said, "When this nigga go live?" And I was asleep. My brother called me and woke me up. I came in here and I said, "Well, I might as well do this now." And so we up here live doing it, and people got a lot to say. But never forget that I will open my motherfucking channel up and let you come in here and talk. You ain't got to be on the motherfucking sideline talking crazy and saying you ain't talking about shit. We can get very specific with whatever you want to get specific with.
Yeah, well, the simplicity of it is Trump is coming in, the border, the whole U.S. border, and the so-called rounding up of what they call these illegal immigrants and return back to their country, and then the FBA, all that stuff is relative because it's dealing with the whole idea that they're replacing people from here that have generations in the land with people that's coming from other countries and setting them up with more amenities and emoluments than the people that's from here. That's what they've been doing. Then they talking about the anchor babies. They talking about the fact that people who come here and have a baby here, but they really didn't go through the proper port of entry to become citizens here, and then now the baby has rights to the land here. They're not supposed to be coming here and usurping people that got generation after generation in the land. And they don't want to do the generation as it relates to the slavery, because that's why they keep trying to throw every black person on the back of the Amistad. That's bullshit. We know that our people, because we are a byproduct of our people, we know that our people wouldn't let them chain them up on slave ships like that. They would have died on the beach.
Well, that's the whole thing with the Roots shit and Malcolm X and whatever that dude that wrote Roots and shit, Alex Haley and shit. Everybody watch Roots. When I watched that shit, I laughed because I heard so many motherfucking niggers. So I was like, this shit can't be. This shit is funny. It was a comedy to me. But a lot of people take that and try to say, well, we came in this. And come on, y'all gotta wake the fuck up. And we woke and this and that. How long has niggas been saying they woke but still asleep, still knocked upside the motherfucking head by the Masons and this and that?
These people don't want you to claim your actual indigenous rights to this land. And then they want to replace you. That's where how it got into the Fat Joe thing and everything I've been seeing online. Because Fat Joe, still at the end of the day, respect to all of the Latinos. I rock with everybody. I don't really push no, but the simplicity of it is, if you first and second generation in this land, you do not get the ride on the front of the bus from a person that been here with 10 generations in the land, grandparents, done slaved and worked and had their labor and wages taxed by the government, and then went into all of these building projects, and then you come first generation, and now you sitting on the front of the bus. And then you got the audacity to be talking about people who are woke, as they would say, knowing good and well we've been here for generation after generation. Go back to their countries and then make their countries good. They all want to bring their tail over here. That's why they got to keep running with this is a nation of immigrants. That's all 1492 stuff. We passed that stuff. That's baby food stuff.
We know it's the land.
We know the Nina Pina and the Santa Maria. We all heard about that. They even taught us that Amerigo Vespucci and all of that stuff. But listen, man, the people was here. They were irrigating the whole Mississippi River system, just like the Nile River. These are man-made rivers. That might have took 1,000 to 500 years or however many years it took. But there was people of all creeds here. But we're not going to act like everybody that's here right now, that's been born out their mother's womb for generation after generation, all came on slave ships, and they're not the head. That's what they doing. They're making those people the tail. But that's biblical, because the Israelites won't get their head right. And the Bible says in eschatology that he's going to make them the tail.
That's why I came with black.
Get on this.
That's why I came with black intelligentsia to try to talk to you all. But motherfuckers don't want to hear me because people in the conscious community, I've been kicking their ass since 96, shedding all their mouth. I don't give a fuck what you know or what school, higher knowledge and shit you done went to, nigga. You don't know more than me, the high school dropout. Whooped all they motherfucking ass.
Either though, bro, because the simplicity of, even if you a high school dropout, you got more generations in the land. Most of these conscious community people have put people who are first generation, and even some of them not even from here, ahead of people who are from here.
Right. It's been a conservative effort of them to fuck me up because I'm supposed to be in a position, but they get a child molester like Polite and put him there, and then put everybody behind them, and then it's the Bambata shit and everything. They don't want righteous, they want wicked. It's all good.
Yeah, but even with him, if you talking him, he was another person that claimed he was from Africa. He was not from here, first generation or whatever may have you. He wasn't claiming indigenous American that been here with generations in the land. None of them do. When you look at a lot of the people that they made the social influencers, all of them, if you check their background, they got 1 or 2 generations in the land.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's no slight at them. There's nothing wrong with coming from another country either and trying to better yourself. It's just perspective on understanding who rides on the front of the bus and who got to get in the back and wave the seat to the front seat, because this dude got generations here.
Yeah,
Family done built the whole country.
Good. It's called
Everything else is
birthright.
crazy.
It's called birthright. And so my birthright come before your birthright. You can't subsede my birthright, but that's the type of stuff that's going on. It's very political, and people that with this Pan-African and this and that. Polite and Seti was not Pan-African. They just did the shit overnight to get position in the community, and all y'all gave it to them. Because me and the digital pit boss was sitting right over here when it happened, was talking about that shit. I still got the videos. I can go get them. Back when all this shit happened. And we was telling y'all about the what you call it, 125th Street, the white folks coming in and all that shit. I was sitting right here with the digital pit boss who running with WAC 100 and all them people over there trying to protect Africa Bambaataa. I've been here doing what I do.
Yeah, but that's the problem, because they want to put everybody all in the same game. They saying we all the same. So somebody coming from the Barbados or from Jamaica or from different islands off the coast of what we call North America, they say, oh, y'all one and the same. No, we not, because the lands and the generation, you came out your mother's womb here, you got 15, 20 generations in the land. Some dude coming from an island, all due respect, that's your cousin. He's a relative, but he's not about to ride in the front of the bus, and that's the problem. Then you got traders, you got people who are from here pushing that narrative and allowing the generational thing to get spun around, and it's all cool for Fat Joe and a lot of these dudes. A lot of these dudes know good and well that when they go home with their families, they don't want them mixing in with the so-called black. The so-called black embraces everybody. That's why hip-hop is such a melting pot. It was the Rainbow Push Coalition from the beginning, because you had the poor, righteous blacks doing things, and then all the other cultures was coming in, and the black was embracing them, but by the time this shit is over with, you don't even know who's who. Now you got the head is the tail, and the tail is the head, and then you got a bunch of traitorous, treasonous ass niggas, pardon me on calling them niggas, but there's a nigga mentality because they don't get it. They want to make war with you, and you telling them about the Israel doctrine, which is the realest shit, because at the end of the day, you either gonna be like a Moor and claim Morocco, parts of Africa that way, and get the national backing with the treaties, or you're gonna get Israel. That's why they mad about Israel. They trying to overthrow Israel with Palestine and make that whole argument. But the reality of it is, what about the lost sheep of the house of Israel that was scattered amongst all the nations? And then let's start looking back at pre-Columbus and start figuring out who these people are. That they replaced with these with people who have a phenotype looking like Mexicans, but even that's mixed. So you know you had a full melanated person mixing with some white person pre-any of that. So when you're sitting here and you're trying to push these people as Indians and then separate the so-called black or the Israelite people from their tribes, you can't even make this shit up. They call them Indian tribes.
Hey, sound like we know what we talking about, and motherfuckers running their mouth and want to know what you talking about. Dude. All you got to do is talk to me. Don't fucking type to me. All you got to do is talk to me. I'll tell you exactly what I'm saying. I'll be disrespectful or respectful based up on your conversation towards me. I'm the same nigga not to fuck with, but people want to fuck
but
around.
That's the other thing. Really, the problem with the world today is the whole truth is not being told. And the lies is what's going to get everybody jammed up. The whole thing is that the whole SF-181 is for a straw man, by the way. It's a corporation in all caps. That's not even your natural person. So the fact that they won't tell the truth about that and they can't talk about that because that's private conversation. You're not supposed to have that conversation in the public. About the fact that they running around here with a caste system, which is really putting a corporation on top of you. And the SF-181, all you're doing is changing your black corporation to white or Native American, because that's all the United States is, a corporation. But when you start taking it deeper into the actual people, the natural flesh and blood, men and women, not even humans, man and woman, that's in this land based on the soil and the minerals in the soil and everything with the building and the structures of the lakes and the river systems and all of the history to the Grand Canyon that pretty much is almost on par with the African Nile. You can't tell me the Mississippi River is not on par with the Nile River in Africa based on the irrigation system that it creates with the Great Lakes and all of the water flow and the current and the mineral resources here in what we call North America, and why they would even run this movie out of Hollywood, California that they're running. And then trying to use European academia to enforce that everybody was chained together on the Amistad. That's bullshit. I don't need academia. It's in my blood. It's in your blood to know who you are. You know who your mother is. You know who your father is. It's just a matter of time that you wake up and you inside your own house and you start looking around and you like, wait a minute. These people is running a movie. It's a well-oiled movie. Make no mistake about it.
Yeah.
You're going to push it hard, too, because if the truth about this shit comes out, everybody got to get on the back of the bus. That includes the dudes that had their rights, but they didn't take the hard road like you took, or brothers like me took, where we wasn't about to join up with no boule society and play that fucking game. The reality of it is we know who we are. Nothing y'all are running with academia is going to spin this thing.
Yeah.
That Israel doctrine is going to really rock them, because at the end of the day, that's where all the trust is at. You only got one trust or the other. You either going to take all the roads to Rome and get the trust of Caesar, or you're going to get the trust of the Lord. That's the original. That's a covenant, by the way.
Covenant.
So God made a covenant with Caesar. He said, you can have everything that belongs to you, but will belong to me. And the ones that realize that they belong to me, you better make sure there's a separate trust. Now, they keep playing what they playing, and that's why all this shit is kicking up in the earth. It's going to tear them up. Because they're not listening. They're thinking that this shit is a game. When people are talking on YouTube or anywhere, like once you start saying these things and people start trying to play against you like you crazy, they're wild. They're in trouble.
The board movement, as we done talked before, the board movement already says who's who. Nobody cared about the board movement. Everybody said, Carl, you crazy, you lying and shit. When I could play you the audio of Hassan Camel saying exactly what he said, played it to the FBI.
How you crazy when what's going on with Didier Puff? Even if that's them trying to run an operation, you was prophetic in the position and you took on the situation. Like, look at what's going on right now. There's no way you can run. Trump said that they're putting people to death for that trafficking stuff as it relates to children and stuff. Like, now, you could believe that shit or not, but just the topic, the fact that somebody who was elected and nominated as the president said that that's what he's going to do, then that should just let you know. And then you looking at all the shit going on with the Hollywood and with the black so-called excellency and what's going on, man, you was spot on the money. They better hurry up and do what they're going to do with them, because they're in trouble. I'm keeping it 1,000. There's no way you're going to tell me what we're seeing is not the lineup. And they're just trying to distract you, brother. I would ignore most of the people. I don't know what the fullness, man, ignore that shit and drop your topics, bro. Just stay right on course. These dudes is in trouble. They better hurry up and go to their handlers and say, yo, man, we got a problem. We need to fix this thing. Because if they keep letting it dictate and play out the way that I've been seeing it, woo-wee. You ain't got much to worry about. Just mind your business and do your topics, brother. Drop the fire, man. Israel doctrine. Go for it. Mixed multitude. I've been watching, but I'm not about to tell them too much. I gave them too much already tonight. Look, man. Let me tell you something. We didn't come. I'm telling you, for me, I didn't come chained up on no Amistad, man. Nice try. Let your academic scholars do whatever y'all want with that. We know good and well who we are. And it's trouble because all that putting people on the front of the bus that just came here and shit because they playing around with the boule and all that shit about to end too. I'll drop a jewel as a little eschatology. The French men going double cross y'all, man. The French. You'll find out about that later though. Just keep on rocking out with the frats and everything. Keep rocking, y'all. They're going to tear y'all up. Because y'all don't even understand principles. It's principles. That's it, man. I ain't going to go no deeper than that.
Well, I appreciate the call or listen. I didn't know you was watching.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. So do your numbers, man. We'll build it up. Peace.
Peace. So, like I said, this tests everybody to see where you stand and where you don't stand.
After Bam got out of the hospital to figure out what really, really happened, and he gave me the picture of a light-skinned Puerto Rican little boy that looked just like me as a kid. And he gave me that picture because I was going to be the one who killed that boy for Africa Bambaataa.
And because I brought that to y'all, all of y'all hated me. Now I'm telling y'all this topic, this terminology is from me. Y'all don't like it because it's from me. I admit I'm an asshole. You ain't gotta like me, but you gotta respect mine. See, that's the problem. You don't respect people and you never respected me. You let them bitch ass and Ra bitch ass niggas tell y'all that I want shit, and you motherfuckers play games and laugh with y'all fat brothers, your hip hop brothers, and all of that shit. Do you not know how many hip hop people I done fucked with and dealt with online? I don't bring them up because I don't want them to get shunned and shit like. But it's all good. I'm gonna leave it alone. Let me get back to my topic, man. So we're gonna go to the other half of this. Let's make sure that we got it on the screen.
The term foundational Israelite, Black American, typically refers to descendants of enslaved Africans who were brought to America and who identify with or claim Israelite heritage.
So that's just the enslaved blacks. But like I said, was some people here, a melanated people before Columbus. Why did the Lord God of Israel say, go throughout all the world and preach and teach, but no one tells you that people came to. How you think the Mormons got their Mormon book and all that shit, and they were saying what was here in America? But they was white folks. They won the indigenous people from America. Let's do the history.
Here are some key aspects. This identity connects to the belief that certain African Americans are descendants of the ancient Israelites mentioned in the Bible.
So, what if you was pre or not? You an Israelite.
The term foundational emphasizes their historical presence in America dating back to the period of slavery.
If we can't go nowhere, because people always saying, well, who was your mother and who was your father and what's your family history and all of that? Well, for us, I can go back in slavery. And we know what happened on the slave plantation. They took one nigga and sold him to white men and split families up. And they had bucks out there fucking all the women, making the babies that they want. That's how you get the football, basketball players of the day and shit. They was breeding niggas and they had a buck and he fucked the women that they want and they produced the babies that they want. And then they took them babies and sold them to other people. Don't nobody know they forefathers and all this shit. You can't put it together because the white man or the Edomite and everybody else fucked up the black families. So you don't know who's who and what's what, but you do know that you one of them lost sheep. Well, at least I know. Maybe you don't know. And you mad because your ass don't know. But don't be mad at me, brothers and sisters. Just get you some fucking knowledge.
This designation is distinct from more recent African immigrants or other black ethnic groups in America.
That's distinct. Some of us been here since slavery, before slavery, and people that just came over here illegally, you ask Trump, don't have right over me. I've been here longer. I didn't endure it for my blood is in this motherfucking land. Before you come over here and they shoot your motherfucking ass on some city street and shit and spread, they've been spreading my blood, hanging motherfuckers from trees and all that shit from years. Cause 94 and 95 in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, they hung my motherfucking cousin from Chicago, Illinois. They been killing niggas like that in the South forever. I know my history.
It often involves both religious and cultural aspects, combining biblical understanding with American historical context. Would you like me to elaborate on any particular aspect of this identity?
So listen to this again, because this is what y'all need to understand. And I ain't even gonna call y'all out your name. This is what y'all need to understand.
It often involves both religious and cultural aspects, combining biblical understanding with American historical context. Would you like me to elaborate on any particular aspect of this identity?
So you ain't gotta come into my side chat talking crazy to me. The link is in there. You can come in the room and talk to me. But you motherfuckers afraid to talk to somebody that's talking about real shit.
Would you like me to elaborate on any particular aspect of this identity?
So I will be elaborating on particular aspects of this identity. But before I leave, let y'all know I do put the drink. I dropped the link for anybody that want to talk. You want to do it respectfully, we can do it respectfully. If you want to do it disrespectfully, we can do it that way, any way you want it. It's Tupac. I love the way you activate your hips and push your ass out. Got a nigga want it so bad, I'm about to pass out on the DQ, and I can't even lie about it. Baby, just alleviate your clothes. Trying to fly about it. I see Tupac got y'all ladies out here humping, though he died 20-some years ago and all of that. Yeah, I'm from that Machiavelli thug life shit. Illuminati and all that shit. Y'all from that bend over and take this dick shit. Peace, I'm out.